So I'm going to start this video off first off by saying I'm not the best at this. I'm also not a teacher. I'm not good at explaining myself. I just know what I do and how I do it. The only thing I can really do when it comes to the tutorial on this is to kind of, I guess, walk you through it, kind of. So I've got a couple things on screen here, and I have a reason to have the replay up here because I'm going to show you something at the end of this video to kind of give you a better, like a bird's eye view of it. So I'm going to show you a couple things that I have enabled and why I have it enabled. Now, controls are a little bit weird. I'm running with an Xbox One controller S controller, or not S, the Elite Series 2, sorry. Right trigger, right bumper. That's how I brake and gas. I don't have ABS turned on because I want to be able to lock the brakes if I need to. There is also clutch. My left trigger is my clutch. A is a handbrake, and then B and X are shift up and down respectively. There's also I have the realistic gearbox, realistic ABS. Again, this is so that if I don't want ABS, I can not use it. If I want to add ABS, I'll just add it to the actual car. Now, oversteer reduction assistant, I have this turned on so that when I'm in the middle of a turn, the car's not doing this right here, trying to keep up that corner. Say that I get the car sideways and I start wanting to transition. This is not very steady. So with the assistant turned on, it allows that wheel to kind of stay where I need it at a little bit. I can still make little adjustments to it here and there, but I'm not having to sit there and constantly hold my wheel or hold my controller sideways. If I was using an actual wheel, I wouldn't use this because the wheel isn't going to sit there snap back to straight every time I let go of it, whereas my Xbox One controller will. So on a controller, it's almost essential because I don't know anybody on Earth that I know personally that can keep a wheel this at this exact angle when there's this and this and this and this and this. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. Also, the steering at high speed, I just have that kind of help with my maneuvering. I'm actually gonna turn that off and see something. Um, so I also have everything else on here. I've got where if you see the assistant turned on, you'll know it's the assistant versus me because if it's just me, you'll see there's no white bar above the orange line. If it's the assistant helping me keep the angle at, so say it's doing half angle, the white bar will be here and it'll show that hey, it's not me doing it, it's the car doing it. That's one of the reasons why I have this up here so you guys can see it's I'm not some big awesome drifter or anything like that. It's just what I know myself. Now, everybody I'm sure knows how to get a car sideways. You just yank that handbrake to turn the wheel, right? Well, there's a couple of different ways of getting the car sideways that don't involve using brakes. First one is going to be, say I'm in third gear, I floor it, cut the clutch, and it spins the tires immediately. Now, obviously, I'm turning when I'm doing that to get the wheel sideways, but we'll go back here and do this again. So I'll get the car into fourth gear. You see, in fourth gear, I'm fully down. The moment I let off the clutch, after dumping the clutch like that, the tires start spinning because I have actual the wheel speed is the motor's putting out enough power to break the tires loose. So if I'm in a corner like this and I want the tires to be sideways, that's one of the reasons why I like clutch kicking so much. But the problem with clutch kicking all the time is this. You'll eventually get to the point where I'm going to hold the clutch a little bit. You'll see where it says high clutch temperature. So you'll get to the point, if you're doing this enough, where it's doing this to the motor. You'll see the smoke coming out, and it won't be you won't be able to have very much grip on that clutch. So even though I'm flooring it right now, the clutch is so messed up from me hitting it up too much, it's glazing it over, and I can't get any speed out of it. Once it's like this, you're basically screwed. So you don't want to do it too terribly much. There's also the Scandinavian flick, which involves doing this. So I'm going to get up into fourth gear. I'm not going to drift around the first two corners. Let's say I want to, whoops. I'm not used to trying to grip around a corner. So say I want to get the car sideways right here. What I'll do is I'll yank the wheel back and forth, and you can watch on the weight distribution how the car kind of throws itself into the corner. If I'm throwing it to the right, it's throwing the car to the left. So if I throw the car like this back and forth, you see it's kind of sliding back and forth. And if you follow that up with a little bit of throttle input, it will keep the car in that angle that you want it to be at. You don't want to be redlining the car everywhere you go either, because you blow the car up really quickly in this game for some really weird reason. Whoops. You can watch how fast it actually overheats, but that's neither here nor there right now. I believe that's actually a bug in the actual game. But I do want you to see something else too, though. You see the white bar above the orange? Again, that's where the car is trying to keep that's where it's trying to keep the wheel angled at. And the orange is me actually turning the wheel. Or the wheel actually turning itself, rather. Now, I'm going to talk about entry and exit to a turn. Oh. You see me kind of try to go for angles here. On a long sweeping turn like this, you want to sit there and set yourself up for the next turn, which I've, not gonna lie to you, I failed to do a lot here on this. Like you see, I just did that to mess it up already. So what you want to do is try to get yourself set up for that angle before the next turn. Like this, for instance. Check this out. So I can be as sideways as I want here. I'm in fourth gear, deliberately tacking off the rev limiter. Very bad setup. I didn't do anything that I was telling you about at all in that one spot. That's what happens if you don't set yourself up for the turn. What you want to do is you want to take the car, hit this angle, try to keep the thing sideways, get yourself set up for the turn by about this point here, the one here. You want to be here trying to face that direction. You can do that by getting the car sideways before that turn and stretching, which I'm not going to lie to you, I'm hoping I can actually do this first time because sometimes this is a little difficult for me. By stretching, you're pulling that handbrake to keep the car sideways as much as you can for a little bit longer. So for instance, say I need to get a little bit more distance out of that turn. I always wall tap there nowadays. I don't know why I do that. Go back up here again. You want to be about here. Initiate the slide here. Try not to go too fast here and do like I just did. I'm going to be honest with you. I actually messed that slide up because for some reason I forgot that I had my handbrake tied to A now. It was brake for a while, so we're going to spawn my car right here and show you how to actually take this turn. You've seen the way before I was kind of screwing this up. I wasn't hitting it anywhere near where I needed to hit it at. The car slowed down, get the car sideways. I do have issues on this spot, by the way. This is the reason why I go here all the time. Now, I need to keep the car sideways for a little longer. I still messed that spot up there, but you get the idea, I hope. As you see, I mean, I'm not trying to sit there and act like I'm some big Billy badass when it comes to drifting in the game, but you see how I'm doing this. You see what I'm doing wrong. Even guys like me who post pretty cool drifting videos can still mess up. There, my speed was the issue. I didn't set myself up for that turn. I was speeding too fast. Nothing I could do about that at that point, but my biggest issue is I'm speeding too fast. I don't set myself up for the next turn. So say I want to go through here and I want to do the entire track. This is how it should be done on this course right here. Oop, wrong button. Wrong freaking button again. This would be the proper way to handle this course. keeping myself sideways, but still maneuvering around the track. Going a little too fast for the course here. This is how you want this to go. Get myself up into about fourth or fifth gear. Fifth gear if I'm feeling brave. Keep my angle up, and I'm trying to set myself up by the one for this next turn. As long as you're sideways, the speed doesn't matter that bad. You want angle more than you want speed, but you still need speed enough to keep that angle going. I've been messing up on my managing here lately. I didn't carry my speed very well through there at all, but I didn't go off the track and I kept myself sideways most of the time, but I did stall the car out. That isn't an issue for a lot of you because a lot of you won't play with manual. Carrying up too much speed for this corner here. Try to keep off that spot. Now, this is my favorite part of the entire track. You can see as I'm going around the corner, you can kind of hear it, which is one of the reasons why I wasn't really talking there. You can kind of see how if I want the car sideways, I'll hit the gas a little bit harder. And you use the throttle to kind of bounce yourself in that turn once you actually get the slide going. I messed up there, obviously, but I mean, you're gonna mess up while you're practicing. I still mess up, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been doing this for almost 30 hours now, but I know people have been doing this for hundreds of hours, and honestly, they put me to shame. Now, one thing I am doing, I'm managing too much and going too far off the edge. Mess that spot up again, but off the track there, that can damage the car too, so I try not to do that. I'm gonna go off here a little bit, keep myself angled at that angle that I want. It's still stuff that I'm learning myself, and it's extremely nerve-wracking and embarrassing to try to record this kind of stuff and show my stupidity, I guess. But I don't look at it as stupidity anymore. I did in the beginning, but this is just me simply learning and trying to share what I've learned with, well, honestly, with you guys. And I'm sure that some things here will need to get changed. I guess if you guys want to see more of this, the next video I'll talk about some more in-depth things like my managing, which I'm still practicing. I need to get better at it. I either go off the track or I do it too much. I think the issue I'm running into is I'm getting it too sideways. Or I'm going too fast and not paying attention. Honestly, it's a lot of different things on here that I'm trying to work on, but I do want to show you guys how I'm hitting this. Trying to keep myself as sideways as I can. Trying to get myself on the inside of the turn here. Trying to hit the inside there. Hit the inside there. I went a little bit off course there. I'm not hitting the angles that I want to here, but as somebody who's only got 30 hours in this so far, I'm not really ashamed of this just yet. Here, I was way off course, but I was able to save it. Skin of my teeth save it, but I still saved it. And on a plus note, I kept the car sideways this entire turn, so had to get a lot of speed off there. But from up here, it doesn't really look all that bad. And you see my inputs down there, as well as how I'm keeping the car sideways. I am managing a little bit too much though, and that's such a strange word too. Now right there, another thing I could have done there was slow down a little bit more and then dump the clutch, keep the corner. There's definitely room for improvement here. You can tell that this is a novice driver. I didn't hit the angles there that I wanted to. And here I got a little bit more towards the outside than I wanted to, but I kept the car sideways. And right now, I'm not really managing because I'm trying to save the car a little bit because I want to get 3 laps in. Again, you see me aim for that corner there. I'm not sideways enough that I wanted to get there. If I would have been sideways like that the first time, I would have gone off just like I did now. But I didn't. The first one was a good lap. This one, definitely screwed up. And if you're smacking the rev limiter like I'm doing right there, you're not getting wheel speed. You're just kind of limiting the car at that point. And again, that's something you don't want to really do. Now here, again, messed it up, but I kept it sideways. I did touch 2 wheels off the blacktop though, so that's another issue there. Again, here I got to bleed a lot of speed here, so I'm trying to stretch it with the handbrake, but I still didn't hit the apex the way that I wanted to, and so it causes me to kind of bump out like that. Now this turn down here, turn around and kind of watch it again from this angle. I'm using the handbrake and the throttle to kind of balance myself. I go off the edge here just so I can keep the car sideways as much as I can. Apex, apex. Try to keep the apex there. I'm carrying a little bit too much speed here, and so I'm having to fight the car a little bit. You never want to fight the car like I'm doing here, but unfortunately, again, I'm a novice driver. I'm still trying to learn this, so. But me not being consistent and me not setting myself up for the next turn enough is definitely screwing me. Now, I will say I am kind of proud of that. That was a good save, in my opinion. I'm not sure if it actually was, but in my opinion, it was a good save. Which was a way for me to keep the camera where I wanted it at. Definitely, definitely need to work on these corners here, though, these fast corners like this. But that's just how things go in this game. I will get this down. I will work on myself, get this even better. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not very confident in my ability to beat my friends in the drift competition in a couple of days. But you know what? We're going to try it, and I'm hoping they crash before I do. Oh, good lord. Anyways, it was nice talking to you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and for the love of God, if you don't like the videos, tell me why you don't like them. I'm open to suggestions. I'm open to feedback. I'm open to hate, if that's what you want. But don't hate me, please. I'm too nice for all that. See you guys.